Welcome to another Godly Play story for First Church kids and their friends. Today's story is called The Ark and a Tent for God. This is the desert box. Inside is a small piece of the desert. So many important things happen in the desert that we just have to have a small piece of it for our Bible stories. The desert is a strange and wild place. At night it is very cold, but in the day it is burning hot. There is almost no water at all. The desert is always changing. The wind comes, and as it blows, it shapes and it molds, so the desert is never the same. God led the people through the waters to freedom and gave them the 10 best ways to live. Now the people of God were on the way to the promised land, the land God promised to give them. The people of God loved the 10 best ways to live, so much so that they wanted to carry them with them. But they needed a way to come close to something so precious, so special. So God told them how. First, they made a special box called an ark to carry the 10 best ways to live. It was covered with gold. It had 2 long poles to carry, and on the top were 2 golden angels. And inside, they put the 10 best ways to live. But now they needed a way to get ready to come close to the ark. So they made an altar where they could burn incense. It made a wonderful smell and smoke. Now the priest could go through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke to the ark and be close to God. But this still wasn't enough to come close to something so precious. So they made a special table called the table of shewbread. It was covered with gold, and every Sabbath day they put 12 loaves of unleavened bread on it. On the other side, they put the gold candlestick with 7 burning lights called the menorah. Now the priest could walk between the table of shewbread and the menorah through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke to the ark. But this still wasn't enough to get ready. So they made a tent called a tabernacle. Inside the tabernacle, the tent for God, was a special veil that divided the inside room from the outside room. They called the inside room the Holy of Holies, and that's where they kept the ark. And now the priest could walk into the tent between the table of shewbread and the menorah, through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke, through the curtain into the Holy of Holies, to the ark, and be close to God. Now outside the tent for God, the people made sacrifices at the great altar of burnt offering. Here they gave the very best of their animals to God. A great bowl of water, called the laver, was placed in front of the tent so the priests could wash their hands and feet before they went inside the tent, between the table of shewbread and the menorah, through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke, through the curtain and into the Holy of Holies, to the ark, and be close to God. They covered the tent for God with beautiful cloths, one by one, each cloth covered. And finally, on the outside, they put one that was rough and woolly. So when people passed by in the desert, they would see that and just pass on by. But this was still not enough. They couldn't just leave all of this sitting out in the desert. So they put a linen fence around it. And now they had a special place and a special way to come near to God. It was a tent for God. So whenever the people of God moved in the desert, they could take down the fence and the tent and everything in it. And carry it with them. And the ark, with the 10 best ways to live, led the way. I wonder how it feels to come close to something so precious as the ark. I wonder how the sweet-smelling incense and smoke helped them get ready to come near the ark and to be close to God. I wonder how the table of shewbread with the unleavened bread helped them get ready to be close to God. I wonder how the great burning lights helped them get ready to be close to God. I wonder how you get ready to be close to God. I wonder how it feels to be close to God. And I wonder where the 10 best ways to live are now. Now, as the people of God journeyed through the desert toward the promised land, the ark led the way. But the people of God do not carry the 10 best ways to live in the ark anymore. Today, we can carry the love for God and the love for people in our hearts. You can have the love for God and the love for people in your very own heart. May it be so.